Mike Palmer from Know Your Rights Group and Success Coaching International with another important live video update. So hopefully you've read the description or the title of tonight's video, which of course says masks, quarantine and common sense. But have you ever noticed that common sense just isn't all that common? Seems to be a big problem. Here we are basically 1 year into the deadliest pandemic of the modern era, and still no one that I've spoken to personally knows anyone who's even had COVID, let alone anyone who's died from it. Yet people are still buying into all of the government and media fear propaganda. I just can't understand why. Many businesses have either closed or they're operating at severely reduced capacities, and that of course is after being severely impacted financially. Last year they still haven't got back to where they were before that. Plenty of other people are giving away their privacy by scanning these QR codes everywhere. Others are giving up their freedom to their right to the freedom of movement because of course of all of these border closures, and this is happening at every opportunity. And still we have most people wandering around like these ridiculous muzzled muppets. It's just crazy. Now, I'll give you a perfect example. I walked into the chemist today to get a new Ventolin because, of course, I've got asthma, which just so happens to be one of the mask exemptions. And I was very surprised when the lady said, "Oh, we need your ID now to note down your name and address." And I said, "Well, that's a bit strange. I've never heard of that before." And she said, "Oh, yes, that's because people aren't using these correctly." And I'm thinking, well, you take the cap off, you put it in your mouth, you press the button. What do you mean if they don't use it correctly? And she told me that people are just apparently just walking into stores and flashing these as an excuse to not wear a mask. I was like, wow, I wonder where they got that idea from. Interesting. Anyway, I've obviously walked in without my mask and was wandering through the aisles to get to the back of the chemist, and there was this woman there just coughing incessantly. And I thought to myself, but hang on a minute, aren't you supposed to not go out if you're showing these flu-like symptoms? Shouldn't the staff at the chemist and shouldn't the police be out there, catching people and speaking to people and stopping people who are out there clearly exhibiting flu-like symptoms, rather than worrying about whether anyone's got a flimsy paper surgical mask on or not? That seems to make sense to me, but maybe I'm missing something. Now, if of course the people who are exhibiting flu-like symptoms stop going out in public, and of course if everybody's social distancing as they're supposed to, and of course we know now from the various reports around the world that asymptomatic people, i.e. the people that aren't coughing and sneezing all over the place, almost never transmit this virus, then surely there'd be no need for these things at all, and we wouldn't have to deal with all these muzzled muppets out there. Again, seems to make sense to me. Now, surely, I'm hoping that everybody out there has seen the videos, especially from Europe and the US over the winter period, where all the videos show where people who are wearing these masks and the water vapor is just passing straight through these, through these again, flimsy paper masks that are designed for a surgical environment to stop blood spatter going in your mouth and things like that. Okay? So if people have seen those videos and can clearly see this water vapor going in and out of these paper masks, then surely they can't for a moment believe that one of these masks is going to stop them from transmitting anything. And equally, if people are walking around wearing one of these flimsy paper masks, they must realise that it's not, with the water vapour passing through, it's not going to stop them from catching anything. Again, hopefully people have done the research and they understand the difference between the size of these virus particles and the size of the particles that these surgical masks are actually designed to stop. Okay, people have said it's like trying to stop a mosquito with a chain wire fence. That's a really good analogy. So people must know that they're not protecting them either. So why on earth are people wandering around like muzzled muppets wearing these flimsy surgical masks? I just don't get it. Now again, Even worse, if anyone's done any research or looked on our vaccinations page and read the sections that explain the dangers of wearing one of these surgical masks for more than 10 to 15 minutes, which is all they're designed to be worn for in a surgical environment. And again, all the fact checkers on YouTube, you're welcome to fact check this all you like, okay? That there are dangers with long-term mask wearing. That's not what they're designed for, okay? So, our government tells us, please stop. COVID is serious. Don't take the risk. If you've got any symptoms, go and get tested. Stay home. Wear a mask. Socially distance. Okay, why take the risk? So equally, given the dangers of long-term mask wearing, why take the risk of wearing one, given the serious effects that long-term wearing can have? Again, if you don't know what those effects are, please go onto our vaccinations page, knowyourrightsgroup.com.au/vaccinations, and read some of those articles for yourself. Again, please, I implore you, if the only reason you're wandering around wearing one of these is because someone told you to, or because you're worried about getting a fine, then please, go to the Aussie Speeding Fines website. There's a link in the description, and grab this book, turn straight to chapter 3, okay, and get your head around the 3-step process, the general 3-step process. That's what you need to know. Okay, that is what hundreds of their members have done already in the past 6 to 9 months when faced with these mask and other COVID-related fines, to successfully challenge them and have them withdrawn. Please, go and grab that book if you don't already have it. Now, if all of this mask business isn't enough, okay, to get you to realise that things clearly are not what our government is telling us, then all you need to do is have a look at the latest quarantine debacle in Victoria that's just been occurring this week. Now, we were assured, absolutely assured, that after the inquiry into the last quarantine debacle, that there were new robust systems in place in Victoria now, and we had the strongest hotel quarantine program in the country, okay? And yet, as of today, here in Melbourne now, we've supposedly got 10 new cases, okay, because of a breakout from this super strict new quarantine hotel program. For crying out loud, there was even a lady who did her 14 days of quarantine, left, and 2 days later tested positive for COVID, supposedly. Okay? I mean, if this is the most secure quarantine program that we've got in the whole country, you know, Lord help us. I mean, seriously, how does anybody believe a single word that comes out of Daniel Andrews' mouth anymore at all? It is just lies, lies, lies. And for that matter, who believes a word that comes out of any of the premiers' mouths? Okay, you had Mark McGowan in WA spreading these wild and baseless claims how last week some guy had this wildly infectious South African strain or something in Perth. And yet, despite the fact that this guy was an Uber driver travelling around all over the place, no one else was infected. No one. Zero. Okay? So look at these figures. See if they add up to you. You've got 10 people in Victoria out of 6 million. Okay? You've got 0 other people out of 2.5 million people in WA. And that's infections, mind you. That's not deaths. Okay? It just doesn't sound like the wildly infectious, deadly pandemic that they keep making it out to be. I don't know, maybe I'm dumb, maybe I'm missing something. Please put some, comments in the, on the video and let me know what I'm missing. Because from what I can see, this is all just a great big game and people are falling for it hook, line and sinker. Okay, this is absolutely decimating the tourism industry, because nobody's game to book any trips or any travel, because it might be okay to travel today, but then you book to go somewhere tomorrow, they change the rules mid-flight, okay? You land on the tarmac and they send you back on the plane and send you home like they just did in South Australia today, okay? This is all about control, okay? The government wants you living in fear. Okay, not being free to do anything without their say-so and their approval. And of course, that say-so and approval will only occur after you've had this ridiculous, untested, ineffective COVID vaccine. All right. Now, in case you missed the news today, the EU have come out and they've admitted themselves that they've self-proclaimed this Pfizer vaccine as being safe for delivery. So they've approved 23 countries for it to be delivered to. And of course, Australia just happens to be the lucky country, and we're getting a batch. It's on its way. Okay? Now, I know I've said this before, but I'll keep saying it until people get it. 99% of people will never, ever, ever get COVID. Okay? 99% of the 1% of people who do get it, okay, will fully recover with nothing more than just very basic, mild flu-like symptoms. So why on earth are people even considering, okay, taking a COVID vaccine that's already been proven in other countries around the world to have side effects that are significantly worse and more dangerous than the effects of COVID itself? And mind you, that's without any long-term testing whatsoever. Okay? This vaccine's only been around for a few months. Vaccines are usually tested for years. Okay? None of that has happened. We have no idea what the long-term effects of this could be. Again, I urge you all, please have this conversation, okay, with friends, family, co-workers, people in the street, and get them thinking about this stuff rather than just blindly buying into the mainstream media, okay, and all of their ridiculous fear tactics. And once the light bulb does come on for these people and they go, oh, wow, I never looked at it like that, I'm begging you, pleading with you, please get these people to act now. Don't wait another few weeks until these untested vaccines hit our shores and start being distributed, okay? Take action now. All right, send copies of those My Will letters to your local members. Okay, bombard them with the messages that we do not consent to any form of mandatory vaccination or any form of penalty, restriction on freedom, or anything like that for not taking an untested, ineffective vaccine for a virus that 99% of people will never get, and 99% of people who do will fully recover. Yes, you will need to edit the My Will letter slightly. You need to put your details and everything into it. You'll need to change the wording a little bit to reflect the current push for a COVID vaccine, but it's very simple to do, okay? And people need to learn about their rights and how to stand up for them, all right? You need to put in a little bit of effort, because it's all those people that came before and went, oh, it's all too hard, okay? They're the very reason that we are in this mess, okay? I know I've said this before, but if you're not part of the solution, then you're part of the problem. So again, there's a link in the description. Please grab our Know Your Rights book, the essential step-by-step manual for understanding your rights. It covers fines, it covers taxes, it covers the bank fraud, it covers the Commonwealth Constitution, the straw man concept, a whole heap of stuff. But what's obviously most important to people right now is this mandatory vaccinations. Now, people got confused a little bit with a comment I made on our last video. I said that the letter is on page 73. To clarify, the bonus chapter 1, the mandatory vaccinations chapter starts on page 73, but you'll find the actual My Will letter on page 75, and there's all the details of who to send it to. There's a link, and of course that comes with a CD with all of those letters on it. So please grab that book if you don't already have it. All right, and finally, just to finish off again, if you missed our last video, please make sure you go back and watch it. It's on our MeWe channel, it's on our YouTube channel, because it did include a really powerful testimonial from one of the Bank Secrets Revealed members who successfully had an $8,500 credit card debt completely wiped out just simply by using their 4-step process. Now, we are seeing more and more of these loans being wiped out all the time. Anyone who's watched these videos regularly will know that we put through one of these, we read out one of these testimonials, probably once a month or so. So the more people that write these letters and challenge these debts, the quicker we're going to get the message across, and the quicker we can all be debt-free, or at least free from those unsecured debts, the personal loans and the credit cards. So again, if you don't yet have it, please grab that Bank Secrets Revealed book. Again, there's a link somewhere in the description, and follow that 4-step process. It's very, very powerful. And yes, there's information about home loans and things like that, mortgages and stuff as well. So once again, hopefully this is giving you some real world information, practical strategies that can genuinely help you learn about your rights and how to stand up for them. Of course, it is just the tip of the iceberg of what we cover. So as always, I do urge you, please make use of all of the various resources. All of these live video updates, they're all on our YouTube channel and our MeWe channel. All of our radio show podcasts over the last 6 years, they're all up on our website. All of the books, all of the CDs, all the various products that we have, the one-on-one coaching sessions, the whole lot, and use them to get informed, get fired up, and get proactive. Of course, the best way to do that is, of course, through these books, which I just went through quickly. And again, you can buy these individually via the links that you'll find there, or you can get all three in a number of special combo packs. Again, there's links in the description, so please grab those if you don't already have them. So I'm going to leave it there. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Please use this time wisely. Let's get this message out there. It really is coming close to crunch time. We look forward to speaking to you live again on Tuesday night, and that's between 8 and 10 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, live on our radio show. Again, just go to knowyourrightsgroup.com.au/radio-show, and you can tune in live and listen to us there. Thanks, have a great weekend. I'll catch you next week.